Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the episode of my F1 Road to Glory series in 2020. Last time out at the Russian Grand Prix, we had another topsy-turvy roller coaster of an episode, starting off with a huge airborne moment in qualifying, but then ending with probably the best result we could have hoped for in that situation, with some IQ plays to help us out for the rest of the season. They're gassing up into P1, we get it way too hot under the collar, and we smashed it on the left-hand side, swinging through on the right-hand side, and oh no! It will, though, be a 1-2 for Williams and a great comeback for us from last to second place. And those top tier IQ plays, of course, like I mentioned, were getting a whole set of new engine components to the car. So now we don't have any issues in that department for the rest of the season, and we're going to need it because, you know, Japan, this one's going to be quite difficult. I think next race, Mexico after that could be pretty decent for us, but this one will be difficult. Sector 1 is going to be a bit of a nightmare for our car, but we'll try our best. We have brought upgrades to this to this weekend. They're in the engine department though, so they won't help out with aero, but I felt it was necessary to bring those engine updates because the fuel efficiency still wasn't amazing throughout this entire season, so upgrading the engine further, I know it seems odd, but you know, you just got to carry on the meme of just upgrading the engine and nothing more. So 2 upgrades, they don't fail thankfully, so that's decent enough, and there'll be no rain for this race weekend, although it does look pretty gloomy out there, I can't lie, so hopefully that doesn't set the tone for the episode and for the race. But I mean, last time we had a very good comeback, but that was a very different circuit as I mentioned, so let's just see how it goes in qualifying first and foremost, and then we'll see how we can do in the race. It is indeed very overcast at the moment, where he barreled into turn 1, then P1 as it stands, but then this is where we might lose the time. Lock up on the front right, already going wide and slow, and we're down to P20 momentarily, then back up to P9 as we swing through left and then right. You can see, maybe visually even, the weight shift is not too great in this car. We're down to P17 as Leclerc and Verstappen battle out for a provisional pole on this one-shot qualifying session. We're down to P16 up the hill. We eventually climb back some position to P13. We swing through 130R, P11, but then under braking we're going to lose some time, and for sure down that hill with the bump here at Suzuka on F1 2019. This is going to be horrendous, so we're going to go for that bump. P12 it'll be then, I think, as we go across the line, and that is where it stands.
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
Yep, so a pretty disappointing one for us. Definitely could have done a little bit better, but also for me, I think I was on the edge. I mean, the car had no grip in Sector 1, so, you know, maybe in hindsight, maybe we should have upgraded the car somewhat in the aero department. Just a little bit, maybe. But Gasly does a good job in P4, so that's the annoying thing, though. He's got a very good chance of getting some decent points. Of course, though, we'll see at the start. Hopefully, we can gain some positions and try and close back, and I think this race will be a damage limitation sort of race of trying to close up the gap as much as we can, but I'm not too confident of trying to catch up to Gasly in the same way we maybe did at the Russian Grand Prix. It's going to be overcast for the race again, so it is going to be a very doom and gloom, depressing looking episode at least, but from P12, potentially we can do something. I mean, Sector 1 on this opening lap is going to be very treacherous, I think, so that'll be the kind of first case in point, trying to survive that. It's going to be a one-stop, and like Russia, the soft tire seems to go just as long as the medium, so a bit of an odd one there, but we'll lower the fuel now. We can confidently lower the fuel, since with those upgrades, we should be able to get we shouldn't have that issue we've had previously in this season where the fuels actually come out really quickly when we're in rich mix, so hopefully that'll at least be one advantage we can use on the back straight towards 130R. In terms of the setup, I've not compromised really at all. I maybe should have in hindsight and put some aero and wings on this car, but I haven't, and so that means our car could be pretty nippy in a straight line on the back straight, and so we could actually have a decent race car, even if we didn't have a good qualifying car, if you know what I mean. And so with that, let's just see how we do then. The Japanese Grand Prix, 13 laps ahead of us. Can we try and limit the damage to Gasly? We'll even overtake him maybe in this race. We go to 5 red lights, and we're underway from P12 on the grid. It's a shaky start for us there compared to Raikkonen up ahead of us. It's all getting rather close, nearly 4 wide ahead as the car goes down the inside, and Hamilton there takes out 3 cars, and we've somehow come out with a double puncture. How on earth has that happened there? There was a massive amount of sparks flying about there. I think that was Lewis Hamilton in the Racing Point car, took out 4 others with him. There was a Red Bull in the air, and we've got a double puncture. Don't put that in the wall. We narrowly missed the wall on the left-hand side, but look at that. The entire left-hand side of our car is lopsided now. How has there not been a full safety car? It's only a virtual safety car, so we're going to go green pretty much very, very soon, and I'm still here in the grass and the gravel trap with half the tyres popped and not inflated. Like, we're now just going to be lopsided for the entirety of the lap as it's green flags now. And this is why Hamilton took out the Mercedes, the McLaren, and the Red Bull there. Bottas, though, goes airborne. Let's have a look at him on his onboard from the get-go. So he was on the left of the Mercedes car, who got tagged by Hamilton. Then Norris comes flying in, and oh my lord, what a collision there for Valtteri Bottas there. Upside down, gets spun back around, and we stick on board with Hamilton right to the end of his POV. You'll see, look at that, the Red Bull comes on top and just parks it there. So the halo working to good use. But look at this. This is abysmal. This is an absolute calamity across the grass. I'm only now making it through to the end of my first lap, and pretty much everyone else, I think, is already 2/3 of the way around to lap me here as we come in to the pit stop. We've not even finished lap yet. What the lap time is at home, my lord. What a stunning lap there that is, ladies and gents. That's a 2:59. That is actually the same lap time we would have done anyway. So making our pit stop then onto a set of medium tyres, and this will be to the end of the Grand Prix then. Virtual safety car has been deployed again as there has been a crash as I was entering the pit lane then. So we're down to 16 runners, and I believe Leclerc up ahead is also out this race. But of course, I have to go a whole lap until it's updated there. So Leclerc's out this Grand Prix, but I won't get up into P15 until I come round again, because I am one lap down from everyone. The cars up ahead, you can just see there as we come to the hairpin ahead of me, they're all a lap ahead of me. So I am now in no man's land on my own. And, well, I have to pray there's a full safety car, because that's the only way I'm going to catch up to these people. Or if they just continue to, hit each other, I can maybe just gain 3 positions, because we're up into P15 now, as I finally do unlap Leclerc and overtake that position. And here we go, another car on the wall there. Romain Grosjean out this Grand Prix. And so, once I come around again on lap 4, I'll get that position, so I'll be up into P14. But this is a very weird way of commentating a race, because pretty much every position I'm getting is 1 lap delayed to when you're seeing the crashes happen on your screen. Is now Sergio Perez. He's in the wall. It's all kicking off there. These AI can't do anything to turn 1. Russell's out. Perez is out. We've got a car slow up ahead of us there of the McLaren, I think, of Sainz. We go around the outside of him. We're still in P14 because we've only just overtaken Romain Grosjean from the previous crash. But that's 3 cars then, technically, I think we'll get. So I think we could be up into P11. Having been, well, still being a lap down, having done a whole lap with half my tyres punctured, I'm somehow going to be up in P11, I think, by the time we get through to lap number 5, as we now close up to a gaggle of cars now. Yeah, we're up into P11, there you go. So the absolute amazing scenes there, or I think the word you guys want me would use is biblical scenes here, as once again, in a very different way this time, we're finessing the world of Formula 1 in this Williams car. We're 1 place out the points, being a lap down, and literally everyone we've overtaken, we've not even overtaken them. We've not seen them on track. We've only overtaken them by unlapping ourselves whilst their car has been out of the Grand Prix. We now unlap ourselves from Ricciardo legit. That's the first actual on-track overtake and side-by-side moment I've had on this entire race 5 laps after this. So this is really has become an absolutely clapped Grand Prix. I think that's the kind of best way to describe it here. Very Williams of us, to be honest, from season 1 of Road to Glory this race. But we carry on pushing forward because you never know. There could be another man DNFing, and so we could be in the points and still be a lap down. This could be an absolute insane finish and set of circumstances, so never give up. 1 point for P10 could help us decide the championship. You never know, because at the moment I think Gasly's in the top 3, so if he gets a decent points finish, he could take the lead of this championship. And so quite suddenly this comfortable lead I had in the Drivers' Championship could be wiped away now in the last few episodes of this career. So we now come through on lap number 7, so we've flown by through this Grand Prix. We're still a lap down as we're closing up now to the Alfa Romeo here, but it's not for position, as we now have to back out there because he gets very close to brake checking me there, and so we get a re-overtaken by the AlphaTauri there. But this is all still just a lap behind, so it doesn't really matter. I'm overtaking them, but then I get blue flagged straight away, as you can see right here. Lap number 10, I'm being blue flagged by a Haas, and also that's the Red Bull, I believe, and the race leader, Max Verstappen, I believe. So he goes round the outside, and yeah, we're now 3 laps for the end. I'm just praying that someone else crashes out, because then we'll be in the money, because now here on lap 11, this is just absolutely embarrassing. Gasly comes through, but there we go. Giovinazzi has crashed. Lance Stroll's out. We could get 2 positions. So Gasly and Vettel overtake me. They lap me, so I've been lapped by my teammate, and despite that, I could still get some points here. Absolute madness, but we're going to stick with this. Can we try and battle Vettel and Gasly? If I stick with them, my tyres are going off, but if I could stick with them on the back straight, could I make any kind of move? Could I try and force Gasly into an error that might see him, nick his front wing or crash himself? Obviously, I wouldn't intentionally try and crash him out. No, we don't do that here, but we're going to try and maybe be a little bit of an annoyance, potentially, or just kind of have a bucket of popcorn and just see if Vettel's going to be a bit of an annoyance, because let's just see some actual racing here in this Grand Prix. If not from me, from the AIs, we can see Vettel now closing up on Gasly. Goes for the move down the inside. They're going to be side by side through 130. Oh, Gasly backs out of that there, and so now we pile on the pressure on our teammate. A lap down, but still a pressure on our teammate here in this Grand Prix. Very peculiar way. I must say, this is one of the weirdest Grand Prix I've commentated on in terms of we're gaining positions. I'm having to update you on that, but they're not actually updating until a lap later, and this entire time we're still a lap down, and we're still pressurizing our teammate despite being that. So it's a very weird situation here, but we close up to Gasly. But there you go, P9 in the top left, because eventually we overtake Giovinazzi and Stroll. We unlap ourselves from them. So there you have it. The Japanese Grand Prix, one of the strangest races in this career mode. Nay, this entire game I've done on this game, because we're going to come through 1 lap down, having not overtaken a single soul properly for position, and we're going to get 9th place and 2 points. How about that?
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So Gasly got a pretty decent position. I believe he got P3, because I think it was Verstappen ahead of Vettel there. So there is, Gasly in P3, looking smug as ever. But the important thing is we got 2 points. So we limited the damage as much as we could. Obviously, after those 2 punches, I thought that was game over. I was in a very depressed state. I thought our race was going to end. We're going to have 0 points and have a pretty boring one. But there you go. We found a way to get 2 points there. So in the end, we're still 6 points ahead of Gasly. So I know it wasn't maybe an enthralling race in terms of action for us overtaking people, but we silently overtook people and silently got the positions. And we got 2 points. So can't complain. Could have been worse. I only just noticed as well that at the end of that race, someone forgot the fact that we dropped Rocket as a sponsoring. That definitely wasn't my fault, and me forgetting to install the mod correctly. That definitely wasn't the case. It was I'm going to blame on the mechanics for being lazy and not stickering up the car properly. So if you saw Rocket on our car, forget about that and remember to go buy some Colgate. I'll probably keep Colgate happy if they come after me for not having them on the car for this race. But yeah, that's been a very odd Japanese Grand Prix, but nonetheless, it's a very Williams one, to be honest. So guys, if you did enjoy that, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do this. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.